G'day guys, it's that time of the evening again. The fire is on, the pug's lying in front, enjoying the warmth, and it's time for the next chapter of Lord of Water. Chapter 2, the white sapphire crystal. The fantasy sci-fi continues. It generally takes at age 16 or 17 before I start getting busy stabilising the water resources, ensuring that the regenerative cycles of the planet are secure and fully checked out, that it will continue to pulse for another million-year cycle before it will be due for another calibration, if needed at all. Planets like this one are a gift, so I allowed myself a little holiday time with my partner to enjoy the pleasures of this stable little gem before getting busy on my purpose for being here. A place like this makes it easy to forget what I'm here for. Time to get busy. It's been a pretty sweet 25 years so far. First task is to locate the white sapphire crystal. Some long track memory and I will be able to locate the dimension points always used for a crystal location on a planet. Its base on the central equator mark of the longest day and internal orbit closest to the Sun. I'm sometimes fortunate enough to find the pod above water. Not this time. Some unknown distance under the sea, it is pinned to the first layer of the crust and it will secretly signal out until it is correctly calibrated. But how am I going to figure out getting to the bottom of the ocean at this spot with no technology on this planet other than rubbing two sticks together? Well, maybe not that bad. This is always the tricky point. Explaining, or more so enlightening my girl as to why I'm here and the impossible task that lies behind my purpose for being here. We've really started to settle into each other, and the idea of just settling into a family and playing house in our contented tropical community is very inviting. Very nice indeed. But this will definitely get me into big trouble later on and possibly leave me with the almost impossible task of trying to unravel a faded memory, should I have to again assume a mortal body and then try to figure it all out once again. I have it crisp and clear, so now is the time. Mila comes in with a huge quiver of assorted fish and a basket of seafood goodies. Look at her, she is so beautiful. Her warm eyes cover me as she radiates the satisfaction of the feast we are about to share. Not a spoken word. Maybe during dinner is a good time to tell her, so I get busy helping with the preparation. Did you get these from the middle reef, babe? I ask. Sure did. It seems like the more fish we take from this spot, the more there are that come in to take their place. Not really sure what it is. I think that we should leave this spot alone for a few weeks and just see what happens there. This reef is so good to us that I really want to make sure we don't upset its natural cycle in any way. I agree. There are plenty of other spots and there are some nice wild squealers fattening up after last spring. Cool, said Miller. Is it okay if I tell you something pretty important, babe, over dinner? Tell me now if you like, she casually suggested. It's okay. Let's finish cooking up this feast and we can relax and go over what I've got to tell you. Ooh, sounds pretty serious to me, she smiles. Yeah, okay, a little bit, but I'm sure you are never surprised at what comes out of my mouth. Okay, dinner it is, she agrees. We wrapped up the afternoon cleaning the yard and veranda area. It always feels good when the afternoon sun starts to shimmer on the ocean swells. Miller spoke. So what's the big subject you want to talk about? You want a bit more lobster, I responded, ignoring her question. Oh, come on, oh great one, what is it? Well, you know that we are a spirit, right? Yeah, and? She left me open for my answer. You sort of figured out that I'm not really from this place, right? Yeah, well, that's not hard to figure out. You're definitely different. Mila laughs, as she normally does, about my little idiocies. Well, what is it you're trying to tell me? She said. I actually came to this planet with a vital purpose. Yeah? To give me something to laugh at, she replied. We both laughed. I have an almost impossible task to do. In fact, I think that with what I have to work with, it may be very well impossible, but I have to do it. God, what are you talking about? Can you spit it out? You're starting to speak me just a little, and you know that you can trust me with whatever you say, Miller replied. Yep, that's right. So what is it, boy? 14.5 billion years ago, an agreement was made that if we're going to keep this universe in place, then there are certain responsibilities that go along with playing such a game. A physical universe filled with life contains specific key balancing components that keep its ability to sustain life. In order to prevent a chaotic turmoil of death and barren spaces filled with the potential void of infinity and trapping beautiful beings in rock or suspended in space, unknowing of how to get out and unable to pick up a body because all of the planets are dead. The potential for space and life is infinite, but a mass solar destabilization has the ability to trap billions of peaceful beings in loss and timeless amnesia. Keep going, babe. You've got me, she replied. Right at that time, the council was formed and the magnitude of the different tasks was set out before us. It is truly recognised that the immersion of spiritual beings has an infinite potential. But as we create the space in which to create our dynamics, so comes the responsibility of stabilisation and insurance of environment by a special few. These key tasks include anchor point stabilisation and distancing, heat and thermal star longevity, entity planning and programming, potential freedom and evolution, and among the final other tasks, the one that was assigned to me being stabilisation and protection of water planets. It started as a bit of a joke that we took our different names: God of Anchorage, Warrior of Heat, Chief Overlord of Planetary Forestry, among others, and for me, Lord of Water. I know that this is a bit of a godly title and did only start out as a game, but for me, to win this game each time around, each and every time, I've had to truly take on and wear the job that is nothing less than Lord of Water. This planet is beautiful. It has truly settled into a beautiful cycle of life. But I know, should I not do my task correctly and quickly, no matter what it takes, what could seem like a breath in the universe could splat this planet like a drop of spattered water and start a chain reaction that will unbalance the whole sector of the universe, leaving us with a vastness of waste and frozen death, taking billions of years to unravel. All right, Mr. Lord of Water, what you got to do? She asked. Well, each water planet has been strategically positioned in balancing locations strewn about each of the universal sectors. It actually gives the apparency of rarity of water and these water planets, when in actual fact they are in abundance and are well intact, more than what is needed to sustain an unimaginable quantity of life and dynamic interaction. The reason for such distancing these planets is what appears to be too far or too few, is that the protection and the time possibly needed to stop the destruction of any of the effects that will chain react one to the next. If any global wars were about to break out, or our technology reaches a critical level with the power to fry the whole planet, the one thing that is more likely to hold it together more than anything else is the agreement that the planet is such a precious thing and probably the center of the universe. Then all will join forces and protect it and clean it up before it is pushed over the edge. It hasn't happened yet, but I sure had some very close calls. Some famine and war-stricken planets have come close. This is not actually the final stage, but should it happen, there sure is a swab pool to clean up and a long wait for beings of the planet, those that hang around until there are again bodies acceptable for occupation of a sentient being. Miller was looking at me with total intent. She knows what I'm saying is the truth. Look at her. She is so gorgeous. How could I ever have doubted that she would understand what I have to share? So what do you have to do? Miller asked. I knew that she wanted a question answered. I myself had not even worked out how in the world I was going to achieve it. I had tried on many occasions not to answer her questions, but now it is just a commodity between us. When Miller asks a question, an answer will be given. Can this girl even comprehend the danger and demand that we placed upon her if she chooses to follow her man or just try to keep up? The journey begins. Follow the coolest fantasy sci-fi, Lord of Water. I'm Mike King, author, and I will see you guys on Chapter 3 tomorrow night.